caviar. It's good to have caviar, but we had it every damn day. You know? Too much caviar. And yet, it stirs up envy, saying, who does she think she is, Marilyn Monroe?
I arrived at Marilyn's house in Brentwood, which is just outside of L.A. I pressed the doorbell. My heart was pounding because I absolutely had no idea what to expect. When her housekeeper opened the door, I was amazed. In front of me was a virtually empty living room. There was nothing in it but a couple of chairs. I put the tape recorder on the floor and was kneeling down trying to get it to work. Suddenly, in front of me, I saw yellow slacks, and a voice said, "Is there anything I can do to help?" And so that's the way I met Marilyn Monroe, on my knees. She looked great. She'd had her hair and makeup done, but she was clearly troubled. And I saw a roller coaster of moods, intensity, a lot of anger and sadness, as we discussed how her life had been changed by fame.
You know, since this article is going to be on fame, I like to state here and now, fame is fickle. And I know it. It has its compensations. It does. But it also has its drawbacks. And I've experienced both.
Very nice. Some girl.
What has Marilyn Monroe got that a million other women have and prefer not to show?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Fame and happiness, it seems to me, is certainly temporary and a partial happiness. Or a waif. And I'm not calling myself an orphan, but I was brought up a waif. You see, I was brought up, I think, differently than the average American child. Because, no, but the average American child sort of, like, to be happy, to be happy, that's it. Gee, happiness wasn't anything I ever took for granted. I loved to play. I didn't like the world around me too much, because it was kind of grim. I just felt like I was on the outside of the world, and suddenly everything opened up. I thought, gee, what happened? The world became friendly. It opened up to me. I didn't realize the value of a sweatshirt in those days. I mean, I sort of was beginning to catch on, but I didn't quite get it. Because I couldn't really afford sweaters. We are all born sexual creatures, thank God. It's a pity so many people despise and crush this natural gift. Tom Kelly, you can find him around. He's still around town. When he first said, pose nude. But then I thought, if I'm going to be a symbol of something, I'd rather have it sex than some other thing they got symbols of. See, that's the trouble. A sex symbol becomes a thing. Well, you just hate to be a thing.
She had that wild laugh, sort of a trademark, but in the interview, it seemed to come out at odd moments, out of place. Marilyn gave her fans the credit for her fame. She felt she never had respect from the Hollywood studios, and only her adoring fans really understood her, and they had made her a star. Talking about them were the only really happy moments of the whole interview.
If I am a star, the people made me a star. There was no studio and no person. But the people did. There was a reaction. They came in to the studio. I mean, the nightmare you can't imagine. In the 60s. You know, you're the only star that they've got, or you're the intended star. You know, and they look at me as if I was much.
Marilyn, on behalf of Look magazine, I'd like to present to you the Look Achievement Award as the most outstanding feminine newcomer of 1952. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lauren. And my thanks to Look magazine.
Gee, I never felt I had an effect on people until I guess I was in Korea. I don't think until then, really, because studios that I worked with always said, remember one thing, you're no star. Sometimes people want to see if you're real. They kind of look to you, towards you, for some kind of, something that's, I guess, away from their everyday life. I guess you call that entertainment, huh?
And we all lose our charms in the end. We're cut or pear-shaped, these rocks don't lose their shape. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Cartier. There may come a time when fashion's a lawyer, diamonds are a girl's best friend. But get that ice of so nice. He's your guy when stocks are high. But beware when they start to descend. Then that those blouses go back to their spouses. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
People I like, but something scares me, like mobs scare me. But people, that's something you can trust. Coming out of my apartment in New York, you know, 57th Street, when I come out of the door, they say, Marilyn, hi, how do you feel this morning? You know, to me it's an honor. At first they whistle because, you know, they think, oh, it's a girl, she's got blonde hair, she's not out of shape. And then they do, my God, it's Marilyn Monroe. And I think that sexuality is only attractive when it's natural and spontaneous. This is where a lot of them miss the boat. You know what I mean?
Marilyn was ambivalent about being a sex symbol and ambivalent about the press who would reinforce that image. They had delivered the audience to her, but she still didn't trust them. That's why she wanted my questions in advance and clearance of the final story.